Okay, this video is going to take you through a couple of common syntax errors that are made in Java when writing Java programs. And so we're going to go to JGrasp, and we have the season points calculation program that we've been looking at, and also we're using this right now to demonstrate some errors. So you can just observe. If you've missed this class, you can just observe and then write notes as we go. So here's just a demonstration of one of the errors. Let's say that we take total points season and capitalize that, and then maybe here we leave out the S in total points gain. And so what we're going to do is we're going to compile this, and we see that we got some errors. And so you notice that it says down here that it can't find symbol, and the error is right here, total points season, and that's the place where we changed it to a capital letter. So the idea here is the capitalization of this variable doesn't match the capitalization when this variable was declared. It has to match in capitalization. If this is lowercase, a declaration, it's got to be lowercase when you assign a value to it. The next error says the same thing, can't find symbol. It also points to the same place where we created the error. And here the spelling is different. So this has no S, but in the original, when it was declared, it had an S, and so it's got to match. And so what we say then in our error messages is that the spelling and or capitalization of a variable during an assignment or a variable call doesn't match the spelling or capitalization of the variable when it is declared. So it's got to match when it was declared. So here's another example. Is num of classes is declared, spelled, and capitalized as such. Trying to assign it, you notice there are no capitals in here, but when it was declared it had capitals. And so that's going to cause an error here. Here's a call to num of classes, and it's spelled wrong. And so both of these are going to cause the same error. Let's go on to another one. Let's say that we go back in here, and I'll get okay, so now everything's good now. I undid the errors. Let's just say for kicks that we remove this line of code, so it's not part of the program. And so the compiler's going along here, and now you want to assign a value to total point season. But according to the compiler, this has never been declared yet. And so if we were to compile this, it will say that it cannot find the symbol. Now there's other errors that might show up, but they all looks like they all say can't find symbol. So anytime that variable is used, it's not going to find it. So it can't find that symbol. It can't find a memory location that has this name. In this case, it's because it's never been declared, and it's not a misspelling or a miscapitalization. So that is another situation. So what we say then is when you're trying to assign or call a variable that has not been declared yet, you're going to get the can't find symbol error. Okay, so whenever you're trying to assign or call a variable that has not been declared. So let's look at this. We have, remember that the compiler goes in order from top to bottom. So in this line of code, total students has been declared as a memory location, and then it's calling for the num of girls and the num of boys. It's looking for the value. These are variable calls, looking for the value of those two variables. However, they're not declared. Remember, declaration is a data type in the name. Though they have not been declared yet. So according to the compiler, who has not got to these lines down here yet, these lines are not even seen yet, there is no memory location that says num of girls or num of boys. So it will not find those symbols, can't find those names, and therefore it will give you an error. All right, let's go on to see errors. Let's look at this. So let's take away that error. Okay, looks like I'm back. Okay, so let's take, here's a special Java word, void. Let's say we accidentally left out the D, or the I. So we clear our errors, and we compile. And again, it can't find the symbol, and it's pointing to VOD. So the spelling of a special word, special objects that are all part of Java, those kind of words, oftentimes, if they're misspelled or if they're capitalized when they shouldn't, or they don't have the right capitalization, then it's going to give an error, cannot find the symbol. And so that's another thing that happens. And so trying to, nope, that's not it. It is errors in spelling or capitalization of special Java words. Errors in spelling or capitalization of special Java words or objects. So whenever you see a cannot find symbol, one of the main things is to look for spelling and capitalization. Now, it's not the only thing that happens with that kind of an error, but it's a very common thing. Number two, the variable might not have been initialized. Well, so what is that? What kind of error is that? So let's undo my previous error and clear. And so let's say that we, for some reason, we decided that we're not going to declare or not going to assign anything to first half points. So you do have a memory location that is named first half points, blah, 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 but there's nothing in it. Now you do have total point season, I'll do an abbreviation, and it has a 0 in it. You have first half points, and then you have second half points, and that's got a 7 in it. Oops, that's not a very good 7. All right, and so comes down here to total points gained. So that's declared total points gained, and then it's calling for the value of first half points. So it goes in here to the computer memory, finds first half points, and there's nothing there. Now second half points, when it goes and looks, it finds it. It's got a 7, so it's going to return a 7, but there's nothing here that's going to be returned to this variable call. Therefore, the compiler gets upset with that and will yell at you with an error message. And that error message is going to look like this. The variable first half points, so right here, might not have been initialized. Remember, initialization is a special type of assignment. And so what it's saying is that this variable has not been assigned anything. It's not storing any contents. Therefore, you can't call for its value because there ain't none. So that is a problem. And so the variable might not have been initialized means trying to call a variable that has not been, and this should say been, assigned a value. That's like going to the sock drawer to try to use a pair of socks when you have no socks in the drawer. Okay, they haven't been assigned. And so if you look then at this, well, this is the same idea. Number of boys has been declared but not assigned, so it has a problem trying to get its value. Okay, the last thing is this. Let's take a look at this. We will remove that error. And let's say that we leave out a concatenation operator. So right here, there should be a concatenation operator, but it's not there. Let's see what that says. Well, it gives you kind of a strange error message. And so what it says is that it points actually right here where there's a problem. And it's going, you know what? We're looking for a parenthesis right here. There should be a parenthesis. Based on what I see, the compiler says, I think there should be a parenthesis here. But the problem is, what you did is you left out the concatenation operator. So I'm not going to get into explain why it says parenthesis, but it's basically because of missing that concatenation operator. So this is common. This is something I do actually way too often. And so just be aware that that could happen. That would be an error that's not real clear. So you might have left out a concatenation operator. And that's an example here, as there should be a concatenation operator right here. All right, that'll do it for the errors, common errors in Java.